job that you absolutely hate? A lot of Americans are.
Mike Nagle was one of those people. He left a cushy corporate job and followed his dream. Mike is the author of Rescue Me from My Job, and he is here now to help people who feel the way that he did. So nice to talk with you.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's
Tell me about your decision to leave your job and follow your dream.
Well, my career is really simple. I mean, the decade of the 90s I spent in religious ministry, and then that didn't work out, so I reinvented myself and then spent a decade in human resources, and that didn't work out. And I was hitting that age of 40 years old, so let's not call it a midlife crisis, maybe pre. Yeah. And I just reached a point where I hated my job. I had a great, cushy corporate job. I couldn't stand my boss, the situation the company had got in, and I thought I was meant for more. So I really did some soul searching. Really, the impetus that set it apart was my 9-year-old daughter. I'd been going through some stuff at work and all that, really bored, miserable, depressed. She called me one afternoon, April 29, 2009, and she said, "Daddy, how are you?" And I said, "Fine." And a pause for like 30 seconds. She said, "Daddy, you sound bored with your job." And here I was, some director, some executive, and how can my daughter sense this? And that really began sort of 6 months of soul searching of what is it I really want to do from the age 40 to 50.
Wow. And in all this, you say a 2013 survey shows most employees are not engaged at work?
They're not. Recent stats say up to 75% of employees are disengaged in the workplace. And that means their heart isn't in their job, going through the motions, punching the clock, doing the bare minimum, which is happening, complacency, apathy, I use all those terms. Okay,
let's talk about how you get out of this. You have 3 steps to finding that dream job, starting with discover.
Discover who you are and what you want. A lot of people don't take stock and are not self-aware of who they truly are. So that's personality assessments, career assessments, behavioral assessments. Just understand who you are and what you want. That's really, it's discovery.
Yeah, and then you've got next, create.
Create an action plan and an exit strategy. Most people will think about things, nutrition goals, all these things, career goals, but we just think about them. But once you actually put it down on an action plan and have an exit strategy of what's the date? What's the date I'm going to leap off that cliff? What's the date that I'm going to, pursue that dream? That's really what the whole create is.
Wow. Finally, execute.
Take charge. Do it. Don't just sit there. Do it. Actually take charge. Take that step that you have to take to move forward, and don't be afraid. Fear is one of our biggest objections, right? We fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of what people will think, fear of money, financial. That's huge.
Well, that's a really real fear.
It is.
If you're going to quit your job and do something, how do you tell somebody to quit your job and go support your dream when you've got a mortgage to pay? It's
that planning and preparation stage, and what is it you're going to do? 2 key decisions I made in the career reinventions were sometimes it feels like, you're going to take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back to take 3 steps forward.
Right.
It does feel like that. Even monetarily, you may have to take a little bit to follow that dream or something, but it's all just about aligning and just making sure that action plan is set, and then going forward with that.
And going forward, you actually have a new book coming out.
I do, yeah. Rescue Me from My Job was the first one. Morgan James Publishing out of New York City picked it up. So this is awesome. We want to make it bigger, better, bolder, new title, new everything. So it's quit, get rescued from the job you hate and follow your dreams. And it's all about passion, following your dreams. Even if that's a lateral shift, or if that's giving up on something completely and starting something new.
Very cool.
Mikey, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.